Everyone, we've got a pretty decent idea who's going to start in goal for each team tonight. So we can go ahead and go through the model and try to find some spots to target for DFS on our 9-game NHL slate on DraftKings. The only row I've added since yesterday's model was a goalie salary, just so you can get an idea of who's priced up or who's priced down. Typically gives you a relatively good idea of which teams are in good spots or bad spots. But maybe you can also use that to find some value when you're looking for a goaltender as one of the last pieces into your DFS lineup. So again, we're going to look at primarily the targetability rating, which is the bottom row on each game or each team's column. And this was my attempt to try to combine the opposing goalie's goals against average and save percentage with the opposing team's high danger chances allowed, with their team's high danger chances for, and then try to find which team's offenses stand out as a whole. And so, again, the brighter green, the better. So the best team tonight, assuming Lindgren starts for the Caps, is going to be the Penguins. And because they're on the road, I like to start by targeting Pittsburgh line 2. So they're the top target in my stacks column on the Today's Targets tab. And then we also have LA2 on a back-to-back, but they're playing San Jose, who is one of, if not the worst team in the league. They have a ton of high-danger chances projected. Mackenzie Blackwood is actually not bad for being the goalie of the Sharks, but as a team, San Jose has been someone you can target all year. So LA2 is also in play. Again, they're on the road, so I like to start with line 2. And then we also have Winnipeg, Columbus, Carolina, and Minnesota 1, although you can also throw in like Nashville 1. Winnipeg has been kind of in a funk the last few weeks. I think they lost something like 6 or 7 games in a row before finally getting a win. Hellebuck has been bad. Their offense has been struggling, but they still are capable. They have lots of talented offensive players. So Winnipeg 1 going up against Calgary is somewhere we can look to target tonight. Columbus 1 also on the list, largely because of how bad Sorokin's been for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And Columbus 1 is not too expensive, and they typically have top line and power play 1 correlation, so they can be a nice spot to target. Carolina 1, because Swayman's had a bad save percentage lately, and because they generate a decent amount of high danger chances. Carolina 1 potentially in play. Minnesota 1, again, they generate a decent amount of high danger chances. Colorado allows a decent amount of high danger chances. Georgiev hasn't been great, so Minnesota 1 is somewhere you can look. I said Nashville 1 largely because they play at an up-tempo. They generate a lot of high danger chances. Binnington's been really solid lately, so they're not technically on this list, but they're definitely in play still. And then Calgary 2 is 1. I think they actually have the second highest, targetability rating. I just find it really hard to play Calgary. I know Hellebuck's struggling, but he has been one of the best goalies in the league for the last handful of years. I'm not opposed to going with Calgary too, but I'm not going to put them on my stacks page, at least not right now. And then the second thing, so once we go through the stacks here, I'm going to look for where I can find some cheap defensemen that allow me to get the stacks that I want in my lineup. And as I've mentioned in every video, I use MoneyPuck's website to look at the shots blocked by team for one axis and the shots blocked by the opponent for the other axis, trying to find teams that get their shots blocked a lot, going up against teams that block an above average number of shots. And we have a couple spots like that tonight. The Islanders going up against Columbus. Carolina gets their shots blocked more than any other team in the league. They're playing Boston, who's league average, but because of the Carolina shot blocking, they should block more than their normal amount of shots tonight. I think, who else is on that list here? Montreal, because they just block a lot of shots in general. Tampa's average at getting their shots blocked, and Savard blocks a ton of shots, so he's in play. And Ottawa and Washington were the other two that stuck out. Ottawa is playing Who's Ottawa playing tonight? Oh, Florida. And Florida is the second worst team about getting their shots blocked. Ottawa. Where are the Senators here? There they are. They block an above average number of shots. So it's a decent spot for Ottawa shot blockers. And who did we have from Ottawa? Artem Zub plays top line too, 3,600. Bernard Docker was 2,800. Brandstrom 2,700. They all blocked a decent amount of shots over the last 5 games. We can look here on daily faceoff. Ottawa's last 5. Zub's blocked 11. Bernard Docker's blocked 11. Brandstrom's blocked 8. And so those are 3 guys that are relatively cheap that you can look to for Ottawa. And then for Washington, who's Washington playing today? Oh, the Penguins. Penguins are above average getting their shots blocked. The Caps are above average at blocking shots, but the only cheap-ish defenseman that stood out, their only real shot-blocking defenseman is TVR, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, and so he made the list as potential cheap defenseman you can use. So again, you can pick and choose 1 or 2 of these guys to fill out your roster if you're looking to do some expensive stacks. From over here, again, my typical process for building a lineup, I want to start with my 2 stacks over here, 3, maybe even a 4-man stack, 1 4-man stack, and then try to find 1 cheap defenseman, then look at a goalie that I'm not stacking against that I like, and then pick a defenseman, not necessarily from this list, but if I need to pick another one from this list, then I will. So stacks, a cheap defenseman, a goalie, and then fill out. Usually have 1 more defenseman spot and maybe 1 more utility spot or something to fill out after that. I think that pretty much covers it for today's slate so far. If the goalies get changed, then I'll update the sheet, and that'll change the targetability and the stats for the teams. So keep that in mind. This will update as I figure out who's starting, and I'll link the sheet in the description of the video. Okay, good luck tonight.